My name's Duddy, so builds and stuff. Strand Warlocks are getting an absolutely massive super buff. It's going to be as good as the Kuros Thunder Crash on Titans. This is going to be absolutely huge. We're going to be taking a look at that. The Matadoxia is the suspending burst that you get on there is actually going to get reworked onto the actual Needlestorm Super. It's going to be equivalent to the Kuros of the Falling Star Thunder Crash on Titans, how big damage that is. Warlocks are going to get that. This burst here is going to get built into the Super, the Needlestorm Super, if you could just see that burst. We're also going to be looking at the NooLvL Pace, how this could be worked into a rotation with the aggregate charge submersion with delayed explosive bolts, explosions from the NooLvL Pace, and explosions from the Matadoxia, so stay tuned. So, basically, Bungie have stated here that Warlocks have asked for a super damage increase exotic alongside the likes of Kuros and Nighthawk. I'm not going to stand and read everything out, but basically hitting a target with 5 Needlestorm super projectiles will now activate the stylistic suspending burst that the Matadoxia has built in. The burst caused by the super deals radically increased damage to all targets in the radius. The burst should allow Needlestorm to feel like a damage contender up there with the likes of Kuros, Thunder Crash on Titans. This opens up like a lot of builds as well now, which we'll go into as well. So, right now, the Matadoxia, what this does, targets damage by Arcane Needle, emit a suspended detonation when defeated, and landing multiple Arcane Needles on the same target immediately triggers a larger, more powerful detonation. Defeating suspended targets grants melee energy, and your Arcane Needles are strong against anti-barrier champions. Basically, the top part is what is going to get built into the Needlestorm Super. So, like right now, we all know what it does, but I'll do a quick briefing what it does now. You just hit a target with your Arcane Needle, and you kill that target. It's going to suspend an area around that target. Everything sort of gets suspended. You kill that target, you get a bit of melee energy back. Pretty decent, exotic, very, very strong right now. It's just about to get a lot better. And if you land your Arcane Needles in successive like that, you're going to cause a suspending burst as well. It does like that burst, you can see it there. This is what's going to actually get built into the Needlestorm Super, and then again, it works against anti-barrier champions, which frees up a slot if you're running champion activities where there's activities with champions in. Could free up like a scout rifle or something like that. I kind of like not having to run like an anti-barrier weapon when I run this. It gives you a bit of freedom. But that burst there, now obviously with the Matadoxia, you really want to be on Prismatic in my opinion, although it will work good on Strand because on Prismatic you're going to get like an overflow of melees built in, extra melees. So for me the Prismatic would be the best player, but you can see that detonation. Now that is going to get built into that super, so you can imagine that super with that burst as well. It's going to be really good, and they're buffing the super up a little bit as well. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because if you go to weapons like the NooLvL Pace, this has got atomizing rounds on there. Rounds fired from this weapon embed themselves into target. Now you can hold to reload to detonate, or you can just leave them and they will detonate themselves after time. It also suspends as well, which is a really good bonus. And it also unravels. Now, suspend and unravel are 2 strand debuffs. Now bear that in mind, as well as getting the explosions as well. So you're going to get loads of explosions with this. And with the Matadoxia, it could be really interesting. So, now, like I said, you're going to unravel and suspend targets as well, so bear that in mind. And you can see there the amount of damage you're doing with this weapon. You're going to do damage from the actual shot, and then you're going to be able to hold to reload to detonate, or you can just leave them and they will detonate after a short period anyway. So obviously it's really hard to show you it working because the buffs aren't come in, but I've tried to sort of like do the best I can with it. So you're going to be able to fire your NooLvL Pace off, get your Arcane Needles out, get your Matadoxia Super, your Needlestorm, and you're just going to be able to cause like detonations left, right and centre with this setup and do a crap ton of damage like the Thunder Crash. Switch to a weapon that has got aggregate charge on. Because the Suspend and Ravel are 2 debuffs anyway, all you need to do is find another one for aggregate charge to get a massive damage increase, and the Submersion and Crossbows have explosive bolts as well, so they're also going to work similar to the NooLvL Pace. They will do damage over time, like a couple of explosions. The NooLvL Pace is going to do explosions, unravel, everything. And then you've got that Needlestorm Super with that Blast Burst built inside of it. This could be a very nice combination. Explosive bolts or even serrated bolts could work maybe if you wanted to go pull them out, but I think just leaving it in the target and watching them detonate a couple of times with your NooLvL person, the Needle Storm Blast with the newly reworked Matadors here could be really, really strong. And you'll always see on that bottom left hand side, I've always got my aggregate charge ×3 because the NooLvL base is suspend unravel. That's 2 straight away. You only need to find another 1, which is very easy to do. Various different things like Scorch with Helion, etc. I've done a couple of videos on this over the last couple of days. But let me know what you guys think. Was this going to be like a future DPS setup? I think it's got a really good chance, depending on some seasonal artifact perks. But whatever happens, Warlocks are getting a super buff needed, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.